Welcome to the episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Episode 4?
I was going to say 3.
Maybe it's 4.
It is, yes, let's say 4.
I think it's 4. Because I thought, okay, I got to give this one a chance. And you're like, you better get on board or something you said at the beginning of the episode. And I was like, well, I guess if after 4...
I said give it a chance. I didn't say, like, you better get on board.
That's what I heard.
That's
what I heard.
You're hearing things.
I figured if I gave any show 4 hours and still didn't like it, then I could maybe say something. But no, this one, things happened.
Things happen. I got a little anxious.
Yeah.
Get to that.
Yeah, I think I can also put my finger on, I think I'm being inundated with too much info about the new ladies. Like, it's too much about their dynamic, which... I hate to say, like, I'd like to think I'm, smart enough to be able to, take on new plot points and stuff, but I really want, I don't know, like, having so many new women at the same time, like, I feel like I like it when they bring them in slowly, and this is just BAM!
Well, because it's like a half reboot, so it's not like, with Beverly Hills where they just brought on Bose or Jennifer Tilly as a friend. It's an entire half of the, like, more than half
the cast, yeah.
Even though Shamea's been a friend before, she's like now a full-time cast member, so it's like 4 new full-time cast members.
So there's a lot, and there's a lot to keep track of, and a lot that I'm just like, oh, okay, Angela and Kelli went for a hike?
Yes.
No, it was Angela and Brit.
Yes, it was Angela and Brit, yes.
She had the non-tortured dog with her. Yeah, so I was like, oh, they're going to go on a little hike with a dog.
Housewives always love to do that crap of like, let's go for a walk. And like, neither of them wants to be walking. It's probably hot as hell in Atlanta at that point. It was May. And they just like want this to be over with. Angela's got her fan, which is like the 7th housewife. Yeah. At this point. So...
Is she going to make that? Does she have a line of personal fans? Is that what's going to...
I mean, Camels are already like saturated in the market. I think moving on to fans is the next thing.
She'll when she becomes famous enough that one of the drag queens on RuPaul's does her Snatch game,
and they'll have a little fan.
Holding the fan. That's when we know that Angela Oakley has arrived.
Yes. Angela Oakley's arrived. Her fan came with her.
Because we're learning. We had a whole scene between, was it Kelli and her sister, or was it Brit and her sister?
Brit and her sister, which I didn't really... So here's the thing.
Yeah, see, like, that face, that expression you just made me like, I didn't really... That's how I've been feeling.
I'm okay when it comes to the new girls, and I don't consider Shamea new, and I like her already. So when it comes to the new girls, I'd say like from level of like the most to least, for me, it's like Kelli, Angela, Brit. Like, I'm not really into Brit, and not because of the whole Kenya thing, which we'll get to it. It's just I don't feel her. Like, her story is, I want to have a baby. My husband doesn't want to be on the show. I have beef with my sister, and I'm like, I'm just getting to know you. How are you now like bringing in a sister?
Right.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on.
I don't care about your beef. The story's kind of interesting that they had a family business. She sold the business. Then they all fell out because of it. Their father died. It like split up the family. That's kind of like, okay. But it's still like to like bring her on and have a scene. If I was just casually flipping by, I'd be like, who are these girls on Atlanta?
Right.
Like, I don't know anybody. Yeah. I'd be like, am I watching the right show?
Didn't you say it's like watching an episode of Love and Hip Hop?
Someone online said it's
really?
Like, so they called it like an elevated Love and Hip Hop.
That's the thing. All this music, like Shamea's song and Drew's song. Like,
why is Shamea trying to put out? Like, no offense, but like, why is she like? We've got enough music going on.
Well, it's like it was interesting to hear her talk about like, oh, I tried this, I tried that, I was in this band, and one of them, which was like 7-Eleven, it was J7. There was co-ed.
Yes, co-ed, right? Yeah,
co-ed. But the other one was like some weird J7.
It was like
spelled funny.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway, and this is just evidence that I'm not cut out to have musicians in my life.
Why?
We've talked about, like, I could never date a musician.
No.
I'd have to, or an aspiring actor. Like, just because you'd have to go to so many awful shows and like support so many things. Like, they would probably have to support this awful podcast of mine, right? No.
It's not all the podcast.
But that's where
it's a lot of, they're giving a lot of motivation because they're like, this is their dream, and to like have to like, be like, no, that's great. Shamea's song was fine. It's like, but I was like, okay. Just like Drew's music is like fine. They both can sing, but it's not like they're not putting out bops.
Well, that's the thing as well. Is like I'm no.
Is bop still a thing?
I have no idea. I mean, we can make it a thing.
Yeah.
So just by being old and feeling like it, we can.
Well, I think with the fact that we're using it now, like bops is not a thing.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely not the latest thing. That's probably a whole skibbity toilet word for it, and I just don't know what it is. But no, that's the other thing. And again, I'm no shining example of success by any means. But whenever, like, again, if I was in my 40s dating someone who is aspiring to be a singer, I'd be like, if it's gonna happen for you, probably would have happened already. Like, right?
Not always, but 9 times out of 10, it is when you're younger.
Yeah. And so, I mean, at this point, it just seems like you're just watching like Dennis and whoever the other guy was.
In the
sound. Like, no, do deeper voice, like do 6,
baby.
Hey, babe. I was just like, okay, this seems like someone's weekend like hobby. Like
the fact that Dennis is her executive producer, the fact that she's still moving forward and filming with this man, like. I don't know what to tell her. Like what does she expect? Like she just wants the heat from Porsha at this point,
Right. Well, because playing football with Ralph on the front lawn.
So you hate it. I thought that was fine. I was about to say cute, kind of cute. Like that they're like, oh no, you suck, you're a narcissist. What's a narcissist? I like them better as estranged.
It said Ralph.
Yeah,
Drew's
estranged spouses than them trying to fix their marriage or do anything together, or his like dumb book.
Right, you said it. You just said it right there. Doing anything together. I don't want to see them on Drew's without Ralph.
Yes, for sure. But Ralph is very good looking.
Yeah, I mean, if he, popped that shirt off, I wouldn't be upset. But
the fact that he showed up to the interview, like, why are you not wearing a shirt in this interview?
Yeah,
he should have been like, because I am. Look at this. Like, he is definitely not. There's a lot of competition, but like the best looking man on the show. On the show. Yeah. But no, I like them as like friendly, like kind of sparring soon to be exes. Then
who's the other husband who doesn't want to be on the show?
Oh, Brit's man.
Yeah, whatever his name is. Yeah, he gives me a little bit of like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo vibes. Because he kind of has that like...
That little goat. Yeah.
Briefly there, and then also just kind of like bewildered, like, zoinks!
Well, let's like transition to that. Like, the fact that she's so... Or her sister called it, like, you are so about her husband, my man, my husband. Like, well, I don't... Like, as someone who's all about their husband... I'm not one to talk, but I'm not like going to be like, my man, Scott doesn't like that. Scott's going to come pick me up. Like, if I was her sister, I too would be like, shut up.
Yeah. I mean,
like, why does he have to be involved in this? Like, our family dynamic, our family drama, our issues are ours. And, it seems like a little too attached.
She's not wrong in saying that, like, he's a major part of my life and, like, this affects him too. But first and foremost, he has nothing to really do with it. I mean, he should... Yes, his opinions and thoughts should be taken into consideration, but they should first be her thoughts before, his willingness to participate or not should not be dictating how her family resolves things.
Right. So. I can see, like, her telling him what's going on and, like, this my sister and I have these problems and we're trying to work it out, and he might give, advice, but he doesn't need to be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Unless it's those points where, like, she's talked about like giving money to his sister, and then yes, he's involved. It's his money or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. I just don't necessarily like her that much, Brit. So I don't want to get involved with her and her sister. I think her husband is kind of like weak sauce. So
no, I understand.
Yeah.
You've done really well at pushing me on to the next subject, so I don't stay too long. Right?
Oh no! It's like I had it while I was in my brain, and that's why I was like, oh wait, Brit. Yeah, I didn't like that whole thing with like my husband. I'm nasally. She's very nasally.
Trying to be Jackie.
No, Jackie was fun nasally. Brit's just like a little bit annoying nasally.
Yeah, it wasn't until her sister made fun of her that we were both like, oh, she's really nasally.
Very much so.
Now I can't unhear it.
Very much so. Oh, and her whole thing about women. I also am always aware of women who say other women hate them. Like, you're going to hate me or love me. And girls wanted to beat me up in high school. Now, I don't believe that didn't happen, but I want to know, there's two sides of this story. Why does so many people want to kick your ass?
Well, it's one of those things where like, it's always the person who's like, I just tell it like it is. Like, no, you're obnoxious.
Or I have a strong personality. Yeah. They can't handle that. And I'm like, or you're obnoxious.
Yeah. It's like,
Or
you have no filter and just say whatever comes. I just say whatever comes to mind.
Yeah.
I'm a truth teller.
Ugh, I'm a truth teller. That's such bullshit.
So yeah,
I'm on shaky ground with Brit. We're not in a good place. I liked the Kelli Kenya scene.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
That was probably the best scene I think of the show. One,
it felt most housewife like kind of,
but also real. When she said when Kenya said, I haven't said it out loud that like I spent my daughter's college education on the salon. That's real. That's really, this has to work out for her because, especially now that she's on the show, it really has to work out. I hope the salon is doing well, but like the fact that she cried about those were like real tears. Like this is like do or die. Like I'm putting so much into this business and whatever. And then also to hear like Kelli's story about her husband threatening her life in court and she has to have security and trying to raise these 4 daughters. And it's just like, wow. And also like she was genuinely motivating Kenya and saying, you've got this, you can do this, like it's gonna be okay, you're gonna be able to send your kid to college. Like she wasn't bullshitting her, and I liked that. Yeah
it was nice to see.
I also appreciated her little Carrie Bradshaw moment of 2 shoes.
Different shoes.
Season 3, the LA episode when she wore 2 different color shoes.
Were you just tickled that she's about having a Sarah Jessica moment?
I did enjoy that.
You're like, oh, and you're like, season 3. You knew it right up.
I knew that's one of my favorite episodes. I knew exactly what she was doing. It really worked. I liked it. It was good.
In the 80s, my brother used to wear 2 different colored Converse.
Oh, that was a thing.
That was a thing, but he really made it part of his personality.
Was he like paying homage to Punky Brewster?
You'd think, but no, it was my oldest brother. So you'd think, yeah.
Was he paying homage to Punky Brewster?
He may have been. But
Punky's cool, man.
Yeah.
I can see that.
He was a skater. I'm sure it's probably part of skate culture at the time too.
Right.
So, but no Sarah Jessica moment. He would be like, "What the hell? Who's that?" So sorry, I didn't mean to go there.
That's check.
What was Porsha doing all episode?
Her business.
Oh,
Go naked.
I was so distracted. Behind her, they had like all of her like promo videos playing.
Yeah.
And you could see the video restarting in the back. It must have driven the editors insane.
I am sure because
in the back of just the screen changing all the time.
Yes, I'm sure it did. It's like we know it. We know Go Naked. We know Pampered by Porsha. She's an ambassador for Meaningful Beauty, Cindy Crawford's line.
Did we look up how much king-sized pampered sheets are? Because if we ever do get a king-sized bed,
we'd have to upgrade our sheets.
We need to upgrade our sheets.
Yes, so we have like 3 sets of Porsha sheets.
Well, we have 3, but one is often on the guest bed, and then we get great. Our guests love our guest bed.
Yes, they love those sheets. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the sage.
Yes.
Exactly. And we have like a silver, I think.
Yeah, a silver and a yellow, I think. Yeah, silver and gold or whatever.
Gold, yeah.
So
yeah, I'm sure. Yes, they do. They do. We just got the queen because we have a queen.
Exactly.
And I want to see her duvets now.
I will be a cold day in hell when we have a duvet. I'm not playing that whole put the duvet cover on a duvet game. Not doing it.
Isn't a duvet just like another word for like a...
No, so a comforter... No, the duvet is like the one where you stuff the down quilt inside of it. It's the thing. It's just basically a case.
Oh, I always thought like a duvet was just, you just, like it's a comforter or a blanket. You just throw it on top of the sheets.
So I guess when you're a teenage boy, it's just a comforter. You don't have a cover for it. But now as an adult, you're supposed to have a duvet cover, and you're supposed to like put it in a certain way so it doesn't bunch up, but it always bunches up inside. Sarah, my old roommate, she had one, and she's also one of the people that doesn't have a top sheet. So she would only sleep with the duvet.
Oh.
And I think that's why you have a duvet cover, is because you have a top sheet. And so anyway,
who doesn't have a top sheet?
A lot of people don't have top sheets.
They just have like the fitted sheet and a blanket over it.
Yeah, exactly. And then for me, I would get too sweaty. I don't want any of that. But the problem is, and you know how it drives me nuts when the blankets get all bunched funny.
Yes.
You're guaranteed to have your down quilt inside the duvet cover, like all like fall towards one corner. So by the time it's all said and done, you just have this weird snake of a blanket, and it's
snake.
So no duvets in this house.
Okay.
I mean, let's see a lawn.
Well, let's see what she has.
Okay.
Maybe she has some good blankets or something. I did like that she's like, I want to be Martha Stewart, but like after she got out of prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was starting their other line? Never mind. I'm thinking of something else.
Oh, on here?
I think we're making the fan joke. I just completely forgot that was us making.
Okay, right, yeah.
Candles are overdone.
It's like you get a flashback to our conversation 5 minutes ago.
That's what I need.
Yes.
I mean, flashback. Oh, and the slow motion walks are getting out of control, especially on their way into the restaurant.
They do it all over the place. Like Potomac had it. I feel like Beverly Hills is at it. I don't need it.
I don't need it. What about Kenya showing up to the black chic dinners wearing mint green?
It was a cute dress.
It was. Was
it was
Versace, right?
It was Versace. Reminded me of like Dorit, not wearing a caftan. Yeah. It said black attire. Doesn't mean it said like black tie.
It's black chic attire,
right?
What it said, which I was so waiting for someone to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a black chick." It said black chick attire. But no, they did not go that route. I was.
No, they did not. Yeah. No, they did not. It was a cute dress. I liked it. I liked the best thing about that. It was like started off really great and then went down to hell.
So fast.
I like that Shamea and Angela squashed that beef so quickly.
That was a nice way to.
Yes, and very cute with like, here's a branch I found in my backyard and some olive oil. That was just cute.
And then Porsha saying it looks like a switch. Someone gets whooped.
Yes. But I like that Shamea was like, that's not me to like make fun of someone's appearance. Like, I
did like that it was the most like minimal apology of like, I'm sorry that I came for your looks. She was basically saying like, everything else I was saying I did not apologize for, but the fact that I came after your looks, that's not me.
That was below the belt. Yes.
Coming for your personality, totally me.
Totally. So that was great. And then there's some back and forth.
Did you like Shamea's gloves?
They were okay.
Okay.
And she was wearing a ring over one of them, a la Miss Piggy.
You do hate the...
I will accept that.
Okay.
But I don't... we got to stop the gloves.
Can we back up? Shamea's sister came over?
Oh, right.
By the pool?
Right. Let's listen to the music.
Oh, right.
Yes. And like the lawnmower of the neighbor. That was so random.
They're like, oh, of course, now we're out here and
we're trying to do a scene here, sir.
Gone over and asked them to stop.
No.
Yeah, the music again. I mean, I can't.
And like Porsha's whole thing, like that was just weird. Like I thought that was true.
It felt like it was going to be. It felt it was Porsha trying to shade her for like basically what her mom was telling her in the previous episode. Like, why is Shamea bringing this to you? Like Shamea's trying to play you a little dirty. Like maybe it was Porsha trying to like just give back a little bit. Like I thought it would be the start of you weren't. Defending me, that sort of conversation.
If I was Porsha coming back to the show, I would know for sure I have a friend and a full-time cast member in Kenya at the time and Shamea. And I would do whatever I took to like keep them on my side and not going to the new girls who could easily steal them away. So she's like trying to like start this like mythical beef with Shamea. And her mom is also like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
Diane.
Shut up, Diane.
Yeah, right.
Like, no, Diane, this is not what we're talking about. Like, you're taking this to a place that need to be taken. So,
trying to remember Wendy's mom's name from Potomac.
Oh God.
Normally, I'm really good with their mom's names.
I can't even tell you.
During the Potomac season, it comes to me just like that, but I can't for Atlanta right now.
I cannot even. I can picture her exactly.
Candy's mom's name?
Joyce, Mama Joyce.
That's right. You know Portia's mom's name?
Diane.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Kenya don't have it. Well, Kenya doesn't speak to her mother, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a horrible, yes.
Yeah. Yes. I was just thinking of the other one, sorry.
Oh, no. I'm not like...
That'd be a little shady. But yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't understand like that. That was dumb beef or not like, or dumb shade.
Yeah.
Like, were you trying to shade Drew? Were you trying to shade Shamea? I don't understand.
It did sound a lot like one of Drew's songs.
Yes.
And, but had she been authentically either shading her or not, I would have been all right with it. Because she could have been like, no, I really thought it was her. But she clearly was saying it to be like, it sounds like something Drew would do. And that.
Well, then you're like shading them both and being an asshole to both of them.
Exactly.
Just keep your friends close. Shamea's a good friend. Like,
I want to sit here and like take a certain road about all the housewives and their musical careers, but then I find myself singing Drive Back, in my head sometimes.
Yes.
And we, all Erica Jane and Luann's, stuff.
Luann,
Well,
no.
yeah, we still, I can't buy the class.
It's a classic. It's a classic. Yes.
So, but there, again, Luann's trying for a legitimate career too.
Well, she's a legit cabaret career, but not like an actual singing pop career that Candace and Erica and
Drew.
Yeah, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, like Drew sang before the show,
Yeah, no, and that's good.
Just like, Candy was Candy before Atlanta.
Yeah, see, again, Candy, that's a whole different thing because she was Candy before Atlanta.
Right. No scrubs.
It's all the people who are like kind of using this platform to give themselves a music career. It's like, The
thing about Candy is like she used the platform to like, funny enough, like build up like her producing career.
Mm-hmm.
So in music kind of like, she's like, let me move on to something else and like, Bedroom Candy and anything in between. But she's on the show.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, again, I don't have any room to talk about this.
But we're not talking smack. I mean, we did talk a little smack. I talked a lot of smack about Brit in the beginning of the episode. This will continue.
Brit had a music career.
No, she needs to get that flyaway down. Like that was, I hear it was sticking up. Like that was like I'm growing up my bangs and they're just like not like going down. No, the whole Kelli, the shady housewife moment was Kelli bringing up that who did or did not buy stuff at May,
yeah.
Which I thought was funny. And she was like, I got a blazer. And Kelly's like, you showed me a group text. You showed me a conversation with the sales lady. You did not show me a receipt of a transaction.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was good.
Well, obviously she's not used to this. Like that was good shade. I appreciated that.
And then really doesn't just get
there's a dumb game they didn't need to play. Like have a conversation. Like you're not on a girls trip where you're like sequestered somewhere and a game makes sense. You're at dinner, like we didn't like write down shady questions.
Well, it's also so they can have anonymity and like not, have to be held responsible for asking that question, but just own it. And
like Brit, you have an issue with Kenya. Say you have an issue with Kenya.
Yeah.
Like, squash it. Her reaction to Kenya's, like, Brit was trying to have a moment.
Yes.
For sure. Kenya was, like, not interested. It went really left very quickly.
Very, very.
I don't know how it went so left, like, why she was so offended about Kenya calling her a peasant.
I mean, it definitely seems like that's something that she's easily,
triggered by.
For sure. Like, she's probably been no one likes being talked down to, and that's definitely what Kenya was doing.
Right.
But you were coming for her, and then you got upset with the way she came back at you.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I think it's all kind of fair game, and you've got.
And I think the original remark, like at Shamea's party, wasn't that big a deal of like, oh, that's your ring, or are you married? Like Kenya. I mean, what it might have been doing like a little light, whatever, but it wasn't like. How could you be married? You're an ugly dog or something,
yeah. I mean...
It was just weird.
I think also, Kenya wasn't completely far off from saying that. You're used to seeing a giant ring with a band right next to it.
Right.
The fact that she's wearing only that was just like,
Are you actually married?
Or Kenya was also being like, where's the wedding band too? Like, I think she was kind of insinuating, is your man cheap? You only got you one ring? That sort of thing.
That could have been it, yes.
So,
right.
But,
But at dinner, when like Brit just like gets so pissed off and like calls her a bitch and like,
I feel like there was a lot of time that they cut out of that.
Yeah,
it just went. It got
very chaotic very quickly, and it was like we're done filming, but they're still trying to get something, and they're demiking, and all of a sudden like Brit saying like, "I'll bring a pistol."
Yeah, it just struck me. There had been alcohol involved with that there, because the way it just went from 0 to 60.
They were probably there for much longer than it seemed.
Yeah,
because it seemed like the ending was very abrupt. Like, okay, we're done. Here are your takeaway gifts.
Yeah, it was reminding me of the Dubai episode where at Caroline Stanberry's dinner party where they exploded each other and erupted out on the streets.
Oh yes,
and then we saw what's the face smoking.
You borrowed my clothes, honey. Talene.
She smoked before Dorit did.
Yeah, Talene walks so Dorit could run.
Yeah, Talene smokes. Yeah. But
Like, he was out on the streets like, those are my clothes last year, honey.
but no, it was a lot of shouting back and forth in a parking lot, which was just really bizarre.
Yeah.
But
and like the pistol thing, I was like, I didn't think she actually meant she was going to get a pistol and shoot her.
I think that's what she was suggesting. Was like, and it was also coming like, don't call me a peasant because like I've, I can take you. Like I've lived a rough life and yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
it was funny though, like to have Kenya and Porsha of all people like leave together saying like, well, that was extra.
Well, for sure, they're definitely, I'm sure they're finishing filming for the day and being all like, what's up with them?
Yeah,
all
that was weird. And like trying to leave and like congregating around that door and the bankhead and then like getting in the car and then we heard the audio.
Yeah, and then we get to see the scenes of next week where we just see Kenya make the
worst decision.
Worst
Her housewife's career.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not looking forward to it. Like I was getting very anxious like towards the end of this episode, knowing that it's going to lead to that,
Yeah, and then we don't see Kenya anymore for probably the rest of the season.
Right.
Or if we...
I hope she's on Watch What Happens Live to like tell her side.
And he does seem to be giving her as many opportunities as he
right.
to like apologize and show remorse.
Right.
So we'll see.
I don't know, but yeah, it was too, yeah. It got my anxiety. It was like an episode of White Lotus. Why am I so anxious?
Yeah. But yeah, it's turning, season's getting better. Again, I think now, not now that, but I think now that I've seen everyone a few times and I can like, okay, this is what their stories are going to be. And it's not just new discovery every time. Like I feel like they built on some of the information we had before. Like we've heard about the insurance and everything with Angela. Brit. See, but now we're meeting her sisters that we've heard about. Although they keep showing pictures of them, and they don't
identify who is who. There's Cher and one other.
Yes, and then they show the same image mirrored, so I can't even pick. Oh, well, if they're saying Cher and someone, then it's going to be left.
And then
right.
you saw like Cher in person, and it was like because that picture is also very heavily filtered.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, this is Cher. That was Cher in that picture, and that's Cher.
Yeah.
It really makes me disengage from Brit's story.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I guess I'm being able to keep people straight in my head, and then they're building slightly off of what we're learning. So I guess they're getting to the point where they're ingrained.
Right, and they're trying to have each one have a compelling story and become like your new favorite, or I like where they're going with her.
See, this could have been a really good season for like a flashback start out. Like if they'd gone on like a girls' trip and work back from there and like show what happened.
Right.
So kind of give us a focal point. But I guess the focal point right now is going to be what Kenya does next week.
Well, she should have waited till the end of the season. Like this is why we'll get into it next week.
She didn't know.
She knew it would backfire this way, but why would you use that moment of you're opening your hair salon to make it about this chick who you don't like, who is so brand new, like she's out of the wrapping?
Kenya's trying to have a moment.
Yeah, but then she gives Brit a moment.
Yeah. That's why that sucks so much.
Yeah.
So I mean, here we are, though, sympathizing with someone who allegedly
use revenge
porn, which isn't the classiest look either.
No, I mean we can have a totally different opinion.
Yeah,
next week.
I have a feeling I mean that's the thing. I don't think they're going to show us. They're going to blur it out,
right? And
I don't know unless it does look like they're making it out like Porsha's like, whoa, hey, what the hell is that?
Porsha, I think is going to be like, this is not what we're supposed to do.
Right.
This is like my comeback season, and you're like showing porn, and that's not what we do. That's love and hip hop. This is Atlanta. Like she's probably so pissed because like, much like Nene, Porsha can have issues with people, but like at the end of the day, this is like she wants the show to do well, and this is a huge part of her brand, her income, whatever. So when you mess with that, it's like no, lady, no. Not at all.
Yeah.
This is not a good look.
Well, it clearly has repercussions, and it'd be interesting to see how it goes next week, because I think you're right. We could very well watch next week and go, oh, yeah, no, this is not good.
Yeah.
We love Brit. Brit's the best.
Right. So don't hold us to our feet to the fire about, this episode and being so pro Kenya in a sense, because we have to see it all play out. So up until this point, we are okay with Kenya, but we could have a very different opinion next week.
Yes, there's a very big question mark at the end of we're okay with Kenya?
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
But I think
You did.
you rearranged the pictures on it.
I think
Not that they can see every one of them because we don't shoot high.
yes. Yeah. I think I've heard that there's some issues now with Brit versus Shamea and Kelli. Over things that Brit said about allegedly said about Shamea's daughter.
Oh, don't bring the kids.
Exactly. So I think based on that, I'm like, I need to move people around. I think maybe I reserve the right before the reunion to like move things around. So
I think we have to put a moratorium, like 3 weeks before the reunion, you have to have it locked.
okay.
So 3 weeks before we think they're announced the reunion seating.
Right.
So by mid-season trailer, you have to have it locked.
Okay.
That's the rule.
That's good. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just stay like that for now, and then maybe you'll change it next time.
Till next time.